So we have understood your Lordship's question. No? They are very pertinent question and that would ultimately lead. But I'll just give an example.
One second, Mr. Solicitor, we also want to know what are the steps which have been taken by the NTA and by the government to identify the beneficiaries of the leaks, because that we have to be ruthless on identifying the beneficiaries.
We also have to be ruthless,
right? Because anybody who has breached the examination is not entitled to be there as a successful student.
Those who are identified, their results are. But give me an example.
How many? We want to know. How many have been identified?
Yes.
But more than how many have been identified, we want to know what was the course of action which was taken by the government.
Lord, kindly allow me to give an example. Lord, for the time being, leave Bihar. I will not call the police also. I will not take instructions. Take for example Godhra. Godhra incident, Lord, it passes on as a paper leak case. It's not a paper leak case. What happened was, there was one superintendent of one particular center called Jai Jalaram School. His name is Tushar Bhatt. Lord, he arranged with certain students that he didn't have the paper. But he said that whatever answers you can confidently answer, you give the answers. These are multiple choice questions with negative marking. And therefore, I would have a window of 3 hours before, after I take your papers back and I seal it and send it to the concerned authority. Fortunately, the authorities, the district magistrate came to know about this. It must have percolated from somewhere. Therefore, the moment examination started, the entire district administration and entire police administration was there. The papers after the examination were taken in their custody, sealed in their presence and sent, and that man was arrested. Now, from his mobile, there were several video chats which were found. And we could identify that these were the people with whom he was in touch. So those identified students, their papers are their results are withheld. And they are issued show cause notices. Why should they not be?
So we want to know totally.
We are not concerned about Godhra, but what we are concerned about Patna. Patna is the leakage. Godhra, we are not complaining. I am only about paper leakage, Patna. Nothing else. All others are minor issues. Impersonation, all are minor issues. Nobody would ask for a cancel of the examination on the basis of that.
Overall in the entire country, how many students whose results have been withheld owing to what we are discussing today? Individual, one student cheating from another student, we are not bothered about that.
Absolutely.
That the law will take its own course.
Yes.
How many students are there whose results have been withheld as a result of the systemic, so we won't say systemic, as a result of the leakage which
leakage.
So, and where are those students situated? We want to see the geographical distribution of those students. Are they in one state? Are they in multiple states? Where are they situated? And third, now one more thing which we'd like to also dwell on is the following justice, the order passed by the bench presided over by Honorable Justice Vikramnath in the vacation. 1563 students, there was a retest. That was held on the 23rd of June or 21st of June. 23rd of June.
It has been withheld.
Now, one second. Just tell us for this examination now. Are we still in the process of identifying the wrongdoers in terms of the students? We're not talking of those who are perpetrators, but beneficiaries. Have we been able to completely identify the students who are the beneficiaries, or is that process still ongoing?
The answer is no.
For instance, one second. For instance, look, if we have no go, we'll have to cancel the exam.
Right. But there has been no effort whatsoever on that side.
As a court,
yes,
this cancellation of a test of this nature, 24 lakh students,
completely agree.
Is a matter of extreme last resort, because it may be, this
Lordship is
may be
absolutely right.
It may
Absolutely
be,
right. Yeah,
and therefore we are asking questions about what was the time at which the leakage took place. So that will give us an idea of what was the opportunity for dissemination.
Every question.
What is the modality?
Very pertinent.
My
Now-
petition, my lord, there are 56. Quick
Now,
answer, if your lordship.
Just one second. Mr. Solicitor, 1 second. One second, sir. 1 second. Just 1 second.
Everything by day after.
Day after. 1 second. One more thing I want to ask you is that with the kind of technology which we have today at our disposal, and the government of India has its cyber forensic unit, is it not possible for us to run through the use of experts to bring some sense of confidence to the process? That you carry out a detailed data analytics exercise to see if there are suspicious markers. Now, we have to identify what the suspicious markers are. All right. So I just want to say one thing. Let us not be in self-denial.
Absolutely.
Right? Because, self-denial is only adding to the problems, because now everybody knows there was a leak. So we have 2 or 3 things. We have to see what happened for this exam, what we do in the ongoing process for the conclusion of this year's admission, and finally, which is the third aspect of the matter which we'll answer, what do we do to ensure that the leak does not take place again in the future, or what are the steps we are taking to ensure that the dissemination in the future does not result in the leaks that we have encountered. On the last aspect, subject to hearing you, there should be a sort of a multidisciplinary committee consisting of the best experts, not necessarily only from the government, but people who have very wide experience and who are respected across the country. Because we are, today we are dealing, I don't have to emphasize it, we are dealing with the most prestigious of educational admissions. And every middle class parent,
which are the treasure.
Every middle class parents aspires their children to go to medicine or engineering, or Now, what are we doing to ensure that that this will not happen in future, and how are we planning to tighten the examinations process? Is there an audit being conducted by the government on what went wrong in the NTA? That's one aspect. What do we do? There's a third aspect. Second aspect, assuming that we are not going to cancel the entire exam, what do we do between today and the date of admissions to identify those who are beneficiaries of the fraud? And the first aspect, do we cancel the exam, or do we allow the counseling to go through by identifying the beneficiaries? And on the first aspect, we'd like to know from the government, what have you done so far to identify those who are beneficiaries of the...
I can assure your lordships one thing. But we are not adversary.
The report of the report of the CBI and Patna police. That is most important. Report of the CBI and the Patna police.
Mr. Solicitor, they have, from what they are trying to emphasize, we find that they place a great deal of emphasis on the fact that in the 20, 21, 22, 23, you had 1 + 3 + 1 + 2, that is 4 and 1, 5, and 2, 7 students who got 720 out of 720 in 4 years. This year, we have 67 who get 720.
Which my lord, 6 are from
1 second.
We have an answer which satisfies.
No, I have one more question. What is the percentile distribution in this exam across categories, not just 720 out of 7?
Few centers.
No. The distribution of marks, is it skewed at the top? In the last year, suppose how many were in the bottom third percentile, in the middle third percentile, in the top third percentile? This year, in the sense that will give us an indicator, was the pattern, was it a paper leak? Was the examination pattern comparatively easier as opposed to the previous year?
We have not correct. We have done the analysis. We'll place it on chart.
The chart I have given that answer my lord's query.
To make a small submission.
Last page of the page note. The chart I have given that satisfies my lord's query. The marks, my lord, I have compared, given the table. Lord, somebody in 2022 who obtained 700 marks. Lord, may I kindly see this table for a moment? That will throw light on my Lord's query.
222, somebody who obtained 700 marks.
Yes, in 2022, his rank was 94.
Right.
In 23, somebody 700, his rank was 247. Then somebody has 700 in 2024, his rank is 2250.
He goes down.
It goes down because there's so many people above.
Rise.
My lord, also there is another aspect.
Another question.
Also, there is another aspect.
One second. How many students appeared in 2022, 23, and 24?
Same number.
See, next table is showing it. Next table is showing it, my lord. May I kindly see
The
this?
56 students that are before the
Lord, total number of
all of them are
students
stoppers.
Lord, kindly see the difference.
My lord, also,
Hold on.
There are
my lord, also there is another aspect to it.
But the increase in a very linear fashion.
My lord, there is another aspect to it. In fact, NTA has published several answer keys. My lords, I'd like to point out. My lords, I'd like to My lord, I'd also like to point out some.
Lord, may I say something? Lord? Of the 56
May I be able
one of them
to
is a
may I
topper.
make a small submission, my lord?
Rest all of them have been meritorious, have scored highest mark in class 10 and 12. In so far as Gujarat is concerned, in these 56 people that have come before my lord. So this is a case where all of us are facing tremendous mental agony because of this.
That's all right. Now we can leave aside the emotions. You can trust us.
I am saying that out of
What we want to know, Mr. Solicitor, what we want to know is this. We will have these, we'll have these anecdotal, charts like this which are given to us. Please take instructions from the government. Can we not run this through a data analytics program to the cyber forensic unit? You can contact, if the government has that in the Ministry of Home Affairs, so much the better. If you don't have it, you can ask any of our top service providers to find out, because we have to identify whether the skewing of marks is so systemic that the whole examination is affected, or is it possible to identify people who are wrongdoers or likely wrongdoers, in which case a retest can be held for those students only.
I have not answered.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord.
In a holistic way, but I can assure your lordship, Lord, about one thing. But we are not adversarial to the petitioners either way. The petitioners who have an apprehension of an all India problem, or petitioners 23 lakhs in number plus, who are, my lord, feeling insecure because they may have to face, my lord, another examination. But we are concerned about both the sets, and we will assist your lordships, my lord, dispassionately. My lord, and whatever your lordships have suggested, my lord, I think the solution lies somewhere else. There only.
One second. What we'd like to do, insofar as the petitioners are concerned,
Please.
all lawyers for the petitioners, please, we'll take it up on Wednesday. We'll give them a day's time. So once a day. Solicitor also wanted 1 day's time. We'll give you a day's time to put your hands together. We want all the lawyers for the petitioners who are asking for a retest, to sit together between now and Wednesday and give us one set of submission.
Violation.
But we can't have people, 100 lawyers arguing before us on 100 different grounds. We want you to all sit down. We'll appoint one nodal counsel, as we do in the CB matters.
That's it.
You give us one consolidated submission, say not exceeding 10 pages.
That's
We
right.
don't mind, it shouldn't exceed 10 pages. Why you are pressing for a retest?
Correct.
All right?
All material
Likewise,
we
what
rely
you
on
do-
for that purpose.
Likewise, we'll do this. We will ask the government to circulate a comprehensive list of dates and a response to what we have raised.
But in the meantime, first this CBI can be directed because not everything is with CBI. NTA, as we have seen in the reply, they say we do not know whether it was systemic or not. Here, sometimes they completely deny there is no leak. So let the CBI file a status report before this honorable court in all 6 FIRs that will place the picture that in which direction the investigation is going.
Not all 6.
Not
Only
instead of a
Patna.
filtration in between. Let
Only
the
Patna
CBI
is enough.
straight away submit a status report.
You are
Let me
appearing,
take instructions from.
you are appearing for the CBI also, Mr.
So, let a CBI file a status report.
Why don't you do this? Ask the CBI to file a status report.
On Patna. That's where the leak has occurred. All the rest of our minor issues.
On its investigation, whether it is systemic or whether it is not.
If I have submission,
One more suggestion, if my lord may kindly consider it.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord. Here, also the
Lord, there is one more suggestion, my lord may kindly consider that.
change in the answer also.
Lord, in the meantime,
So the order dictate करे क्या अभी? आप- है ना?
my lord, I'd like
Me
to
only
make
one request.
a submission, my lord.
I'll not call for the record from the CBI also. And because something may not be made public, how to place it before your lordships, etc.
They know.
But my lord, can I request, my lord, this is a joint request, that we file everything as suggested by your lordships by Wednesday, and matter can be heard on Thursday. So we are not, my lord, nobody takes,
investigating officer file an affidavit, my lord.
is taken by surprise that what is the document. We'll prepare it today, file it by, my lord, day after. And my lord, we can have,
Lord, that filtration which happens in between, my lord, but the investigating officer is the best person.
no, I'm not on
File an
CBI,
affidavit.
on overall.
Be on the day. And so Wednesday, he's saying take it up on Thursday. because
Thursday,
Wednesday they will, so you will get 24 hours to
Yes, sir.
study what they are saying.
Please, Manoj.
And Lord, in the meantime, if Lord may just consider one more aspect.
Only one
Let the entire result of 23 lakh odd people be declared on their website. They have not declared that result. We will also analyze the data because they declared the result of 100 people. We could see that 6 people who secured rank 1 are from the same center.
Sir, it is declared.
So we will be able to see.
Lord, there is also a
They are not comprehensively published.
Sir, it is declared on the website.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission.
Declared.
You made your point. Let's hear Mr.
same center, the people, student got the same marks, 720 and 720, lordship. One center, lordship.
From the same center.
720, 720.
Submission may be allowed.
How is it possible, lordship? This is my question is that.
People, one center in Haryana.
Lordship, then my second question is, all our sheets are different
What is-
and result is a different, lordship. How is it possible, lordship?
This is a
So let
situation
me
here.
declare the entire result. We will analyze the data whether are on the resources.
Answer keys for the same OMR sheet, my
Also
lord.
permitted to upload the PAP.
There are multiple answer keys for one single question.
After issuing the
And
notification.
it has been published by the NTA on its website.
NTA opened up on the 8th of April for enlisting students, my lords, on a 24-hour window on the 9th and the 10th of April, my lords.
And change of answer also. They have changed the answer also.
Now, this is very
They've changed the answer.
Lordship, my second, and then the second question is that why the NTA has declared the result the 4th June, my lord.
My lord, there
That
are
is the question, already, my lord.
3 answer keys for the same set of question paper. How can NTA publish that? NTA also should be investigated.
These are there. How many total?
1,10,000. 1,10,000 approximately.
Next, there
Of
are
which
also
50% is government.
1 lakh and plus.
How many? See?
1,08,000 something is the exact figure.
56,000 is the government seat. The entire bungling is on the government.
So that they can go to private.
And your lordship, one more data, what my lord.
my lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord.
My lordship, it's my humble request.
On VC.
The data which is come out, so it will be important that this please come out with complete
My lord,
PDF
all
and
five-
over sheet status.
My lord, on VC, I may be allowed to make a small submission of 30 seconds.
The portal which is opened on the 9th of
9 April.
Sir, my lordship, the portal is opened on 9th April 2024. It's my humble request, please give the clear data to find out so that we can.
My lords, why the window was open on 8th and 9th? What was the reason?
2 days, sir. Only 2
And
days.
what was the result? Because this is the only difference.
My lord,
ऐसा लिख
We
लीजिए.
have identified 1560.
The candidates who are appealing.
Just we'll flag something and we'll now place it on Thursday. We'll just give some direction to the matter, so we'll be able to focus on what we want.
My matter. Notice maybe you should.
Yes, we hear you. We're not going to be.
So that we can.
On 9 February 2024, the National Testing Agency, into brackets NTA, issued an online application form for the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test, into brackets NEET UG, bracket 2024. Full stop. NTA conducted the NEET UG examination on 5 May 2024. Full stop. Results were declared on 4th June 2024. Next. On 5 May 2024, from the material which has emerged on the record at the present stage, it appears that on 5 May 2024, a first information report bearing FIR number 358/2024 was lodged at PS Shastri Nagar, Patna, alleging a leak in the NEET UG 2024 question papers, implicating offences under sections 407, 408 and 409, read with section 120B of the Penal Code. Full stop. On 23 June 2024, the Economic Offences Unit of Bihar Police issued a press release noting that in connection with the above FIR, 13 persons, including candidates and members of, and into inverted commas, members of the organized gang of examination leak.
Sorry, I should not interrupt. This is what I gave to your lordships. This is not true. That is what the Bihar police on that very day clarified.
Where is that clarification?
I had just given.
No, my friend is wrong.
This is what
No.
Bihar police clarified.
No, you are trying to cover up.
So this is on that very day published, my lord, by the Bihar police. This is with regard to the news report of NEET UG exam published in the Sunday Express newspaper dated 23rd June. On its front page with the headline, Bihar police puts.
So this press release is not an official press release?
No, that's what the Bihar police clarifies.
It's on their website.
Kindly read it further, my lord.
Sir-
paper leak in my run-in and appears not for Bihar. He handed this over to me just now. Manoj. In the news item, the undersigned has been wrongly quoted and the name has been mentioned at least 3 times in the news item by the correspondent is so and so. Whereas the matter of fact is that no such brief had been given by the undersigned to him in this regard, and neither the concerned correspondent ever contacted me before attributing the quote to the undersigned. No official press release or statement in this matter had been issued. This irresponsible act of correspondent is against
वो मैंने कहा on ऐसा कर according to the petitioners on 23 June 2024 a press release was issued by the Economic Offences Unit of the Bihar Police setting out in regard to the paper leak which had taken place. On the other hand, from a communication dated 23 June 2024 addressed by the Additional DGP, Economic Offences Unit, it has been stated that no official press release or statement
That's an act of cover-up.
had been issued by the Bihar Police. Full stop. Be that as it may, in this batch of petitions, one of the primary reliefs which has been sought is for a court-mandated retest of the entire process which took place, culminating in the examination which was conducted on 5 May 2024. Full stop. In support of the case, in support of their case, the petitioners have relied on two primary circumstances. First, it has been submitted that before that, you can just say the NEET UG 2024 examination consisted of multiple choice questions involving a total of 180 questions. Let's stop. Each of the 180 questions carried 4 marks, making for a total of 720 marks for the examination. 45 marks each were allotted to the segments in physics,
Chemistry, biology, biology,
Geology,
botany and zoology.
geology and
Botany and zoology.
physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Full stop. The examination envisaged the award of negative marks, of one negative mark
Per wrong answer.
per wrong answer. Next. In support of the plea that the court should direct a re-examination, the petitioners have primarily relied on two circumstances. First, it has been submitted that that candidates securing the maximum of 720 marks were confined to a few students, between 2020 and 2023. In 2020, full stop. As opposed to this, in the NEET UG 2024, as many as 67 candidates are reported to have secured a maximum of 720 marks. The submission can best be highlighted by reproducing the chart which has been placed during the course of the hearing. A copy कर लीजिए. The above chart indicates that while one student in 2020, 3 students in 2021, 1 student in 2022, and 2 students in 2023 secured the maximum marks, there has been a radical increase in the students securing the maximum of 720 marks in 2024. Full stop. Apart from the second submission, proceeds on a comparative tabulation of the ranks which were allotted to students in 2022, 2023, and 2024.
For me, most important is the leak has happened. That is the core.
The second, the above submission is sought to be highlighted from the following tabulated chart. वो भी डाल दीजिए इसमें BB. The above chart indicates that students receiving a specific level of marks between 539 and 700 who had secured a particular rank in 2022 secured lower ranks in 2023 and a radically lower rank in 2024. No. Same marks, same level of marks. Not same student. We'll stop. Next. In considering whether, before that you can say, it is certain basic facts which are not in dispute need to be alluded to. We'll stop. About 24 lakh students registered for the NEET UG examination, which was to be conducted in the month of May 2024. We'll stop. About 23.33 lakh students, correct?
Yes, sir.
Appeared for the 23 lakhs 33,297 students. वो कौशिक जी बताइए क्या फिगर क्या है? 23 lakhs 23,290 students. 297 students appeared for the examination. Stop. The examination was conducted at 4750 centers comprised within 571 cities. Full stop. The examination was also held in 14 cities overseas. Full stop. The total number of seats, medical seats for undergraduate, one second, I've made a note. For undergraduate studies is 1.08 lakhs, of which approximately 56,000 are seats in government hospitals. Full stop. The investigation, prima facie, from tentatively at the present stage, the court has been apprised of the fact that don't say tentatively, the court has been apprised of the fact that first information reports were registered in Patna, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. Correct? Full stop. Whether the FIRs in relation to the paper leak is only confined to Patna,
Yes.
or otherwise, is a matter which would have to be reserved for a more detailed elaboration, detailed consideration. Full stop. The above narration indicates that the examination was conducted over a wide spectrum comprising of nearly 23 lakh students spread over 4,750 centers in India. Full stop. Before the court can be, full stop. The law on whether a retest should be ordered in a situation such as the present is based on fairly settled parameters. Full stop. The court would have to scrutinize on the basis of the data which has emerged on the record whether, bracket 1, a breach in the sanctity of the examination has taken place, whether, bracket 1, the alleged breach has taken place at a systemic level or at a systemic level, semicolon, bracket 2, whether the breach is of a nature which has affected the integrity of the entire examinations process, and 3, whether it is possible to segregate the beneficiaries of the fraud from the untainted students. Full stop. In a situation where the breach in the sanctity of an examination affects the entirety of the process, and it is not possible to segregate those who are the beneficiaries of wrongdoing from others, it may be necessary to order a re-examination. On the other contrary wise, where the breach is confined to specific areas or centers, and it is possible to identify those who are beneficiaries of wrongdoing, it may not be appropriate to order a retest, particularly in an examination which has been conducted on such a massive scale, involving over 23 lakh students. Involving such a large body of students who would have appeared, who have studied for the examination, undertaken costs and expenses, and would have to undergo the rigors of a fresh examination if it were to be ordered by the court. Next. While flagging these issues, while flagging the above issues, we are of the view that a view on the merits would have to be deferred until further facts are placed on the record before this court. Full stop. For that purpose, we intend to direct the National Testing Agency to make a full disclosure before the court. Full stop. The disclosure which we are intending to require can broadly be classified into 3 aspects. The first aspect pertains to the nature of the leak, the places where the leak took place, and the lag of time between the occurrence of the leak and the conduct of the examination. On this, from this perspective, NTA is directed to clarify on the basis of the material which is in its possession as of date on the following issues. Bracket 1. When the leak of the question papers has first taken place. 2. The manner in which the question papers were leaked, were disseminated. Semicolon, bracket 3. The duration between, the time duration between the occurrence of the leak and the actual conduct of the examination, which took place at 2 p.m., between 2 p.m. and 5:20 p.m. on 5 May 2024. The second, while making the full stop, on the above aspect, we are also of the view that since the investigation has been entrusted to the CBI, a status report should be filed by the investigating officer before this court, indicating the status of indicating
partner. For me, that's a core.
The status of the investigation up to date and the material which has come to light during the course of the investigation. One may when the leak was first noticed. The investigating officer shall, in particular, indicate to this court, shall place before this court material which has been gathered during the course of the investigation, which would have a bearing on when the leak is alleged to have first taken place and the modalities in which the leaked question papers were made available. Full stop. On the second perspective, the second aspect on which NTA shall make a disclosure before this court is in regard to the steps which have been taken so far for identification of the beneficiaries of the leak. This regard, the court should be apprised inter alia of the following. Bracket 1. How many students, what were the steps which were taken by NTA to identify the centers / cities at which the leak took place? 2, the modalities followed for identifying the beneficiaries of the leak. And 3, the number of students who have so far been identified to be the beneficiaries of the leaked question papers. Likewise, the investigating officers
may say a stroke authority, because identification may not be within our.
All right. The above information, I'll clarify while editing. I'll put it so that It will be more the Ministry of Home Affairs or some other one.
Whichever, my lord.
All right.
But the leak will be at one place, that how many centers the leak paper has been made available, because
Yeah.
leak will be in the
That's
entire
okay.
system at one place.
No, we have said that dissemination also we have
Yes,
said.
definitely, Lord.
Yes, sir.
The investigating officer shall also submit a status report bearing on the above aspects.
Yes.
My lords, one point.
Third,
Yeah.
the third aspect on which it is necessary to have a further disclosure by the union government as well as by NTA. We'll say union government and NTA is whether it is possible by the union government and NTA is whether it should be is on whether
Technically feasible.
whether it would be feasible using data analytics either within the cyber forensic unit or any other expert agencies within or which may be employed by the government to identify cases where suspect cases will stop. For instance, these cases may involve full stop. This may be if this is possible, the authorities shall identify before the court identify the modalities which can be followed so as to segregate the tainted from the untainted students. Next, the third aspect on which we would require a disclosure is in regard to the modalities to be followed between the conclusion of the examination, including the retest which was held for 1563 students, and the actual commencement of the counseling process. Full stop. If an exercise is to be conducted by the NTA and by the union government so as to reduce any further beneficiaries of the question paper leakage, a considered decision at the policy level would have to be taken by the government on whether counseling should be allowed to proceed in the meantime or otherwise.
You may not say that.
On the status of the counseling. Fourthly, the court is concerned about the steps which should be taken thereafter to ensure the sanctity of the national eligibility cum entrance test, so that such instances which have transpired during the course of the present session are not repeated in the future. In this regard, just 1 second, please. In this regard, it would be necessary for the government to consider setting up a multidisciplinary team consisting of renowned experts who command the wider confidence of the community to ensure that due measures are being taken to obviate any further breaches in the NEET in the future. Full stop. If a committee has already been set up by the government for deducing the steps to be taken for the future, full details shall be made available to the court. Full stop. The court may then consider whether the committee which has been constituted by the government should be allowed to proceed as it is, or whether the composition of the committee should be
modified.
Should be
Enhanced.
It is already
to be sufficiently enhanced to bring
That may not be there.
so as to bring together a pool of talent from diverse fields bearing not only on administration but also on domain expertise and data analytics. So,
Lords, I have only one sanction.
Learned Solicitor General and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing, Solicitor General appearing for the Union of India, and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing for the NTA, have requested the court to place the further hearing on Thursday ka date dal dijiye, so as to enable them to make their to file the material in pursuance of the above queries by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Full stop. The affidavit shall be shared with counsel appearing on behalf of the petitioners simultaneously. The report of the investigating officer of the CBI shall also be placed on the record in the meantime.
May I be only be permitted to say one aspect?
So, I'll tell you why. Let there be, the reason why we are asking for this disclosure, whatever view we ultimately take, let there be confidence in the community that
Absolutely, absolutely. We were not very.
Lords, I have only one
So
subject.
where your lordship's views?
The entire.
Lords, can I make one?
Copy will serve to us as well.
In view of the large number of counsel who are appearing on the side of the petitioners, we have requested that it has been agreed who will be the nodal counsel.
Whosoever, my lord.
Huh?
Whomsoever, my lord. Mr. Suvit Sharma, my lord. who is-
Mr. Salishwal,
Independently sometime.
All right. Shall act as nodal counsel. All the counsel for the petitioners who are desirous of pressing their submission for a retest shall file a common set of submissions not exceeding 10 pages before the hearing takes place on Thursday ka date.
My lords, kindly allow the implement application, my lord.
The petitioner on this side, my lord, can it be also be?
Time of loss, my lord.
On the petitioner on this side, so there's some fact that we also.